Hey guys. Hey guys. Welcome to our first live stream. This is really awkward for me. Now you guys get to see who I really am behind the camera, besides all the editing. So today, or this month, I am 8 months sober. And so for those of you that haven't really followed along, I've been sober since July, and my journey started with 75 hard, which for years my husband kept asking if I would do 75 hard with him, and I always said, no, I'm not going to quit drinking. Never really thought that I had a problem with it. I just really liked to social drink. Sometimes I would just drink every single night because I'm a mom, because that's what you do when you're a mom, right? I mean, that's what society tells us. But when we started 75 hard, everybody was like, you're going to fail because you're going to drink. You can't do it because you can't quit drinking. Well, I halfway through, not even halfway through, I decided to dump out all the liquor. And then it was like a relief. And I was like, I think I'm done drinking. I'm feeling absolutely amazing. I started losing weight. I had more energy. I noticed my presence with my children was completely different. And I just kind of wanted to just go with it. So I did my first video. And that was a huge thing for me. And that kept me accountable. And then I went to day 50, and then I got to day 75, because in the beginning of 75 hard, I could not wait to get my hands on a watermelon margarita because it was summertime and that's what you do. But day 75 came and I didn't fail the program, because everybody thought I was going to do, but instead I kept not drinking. And it's just been a completely different journey for me. You learn a lot about yourself. Your relationships change with, your friends, your family. And it just is, it's a whole different world when you literally have grown up around alcohol and that's your whole entire life. Like in high school, you start drinking, and then in college, and then in your early 20s and your mid 20s, and then you have kids and you're still drinking. Hello. That's how I was, that I grew up in a small town. That's all we did. But here we are now, relearning the ways of the sober life, which is absolutely amazing. And a lot of our friends and family have actually been very supportive. Dynamics have kind of changed, but for the most part, a lot of people actually support us, and we appreciate that a ton. So, and then when you start hearing that people quit because of your channel and, well, I've cut back, I'm thinking about quitting drinking, it just keeps you going. Literally, I used that dark energy in the very beginning to stay sober, because I was like, screw you all. You doubt me, I'm going to prove you wrong. And here I am 8 months later, and I'm inspiring thousands of people to also stay sober or quit or get healthier. Just in general, it's an amazing feeling. And a lot of you that have been with me from the very beginning are truly have became my friends, and the back end support is so amazing. And yeah, it's not always easy. And I will be honest, I don't ever crave alcohol. I never craved it once I got past that first 3 weeks. It was an adjustment for me. My first camping trip, I was a complete B, and I was like, gosh, man, I was so mean. So then fast forward to our next camping trip, it was so amazing. I was more organized, and I realized that I got so much done after camping. I stayed clean, the camp area stayed clean. I got home, I cleaned up quicker. It was just way more enjoyable not waking up hungover while you're camping, even though people are like, you camp sober? That's so lame. Actually, it was amazing. I got to remember the whole entire thing. I've been to concerts now. I used to black out at concerts. If you followed me, you've heard these stories. I wasted hundreds of dollars on concerts and either had to leave or I got kicked out. Not my proudest moments, but lesson learned. And I've been to 3 concerts now completely sober, and the people that I've gone with didn't drink either. So that also helps tremendously. And I get a lot of questions like, what do you do for fun now? Or how, like, it's boring without alcohol. Well, yeah, I mean, you have to get used to it. You are used to just coming home and grabbing a drink, and it's a habit. Once you've created that habit, and then sometimes, that habit goes a little too far and it becomes an addiction, and then you get dependent on it. For me, I don't want to say I was physically dependent on it, but I was definitely mentally dependent on it. And I used it to calm my social anxiety. I realized one thing that I realized through the sober journey is I was diagnosed with ADHD, I think, in 21. And I think the overstimulation that I didn't know how to deal with, I drank to try to like calm myself. And then I learned different ways to calm myself without using alcohol or any other type of like hard drug. I mean, I've never been a drug person, but it's been quite a journey, and I'm glad that I'm here to share with you guys. I would love to know where you guys are at in your journey through, out this video tonight. Where you are, like, are you starting? How long have you been sober? Or if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comments, and then we will try to get to them. I did do a Q&A in the community, and so we are going to try to get to most of these questions. And so along the way, if you have comments, just remember we will get to them, but I will get to my Q&A questions here in just a minute. But I want to know where you guys are tuning in from and how long you've been sober, or like your sober journey. I would love to hear that. Hey guys. Wow, everybody has joined. A lot of people have joined us. Okay, so first question from James. He's been with me since the beginning, pretty much, I think. You're approaching 8 months on sobriety. How are you feeling? How has your mindset changed? What is the first good step? What is the first good step or action to take to get started down the road to sobriety for those who haven't taken the first step, and how to avoid triggers? Okay, so my mindset has definitely shifted to where I don't understand, and I will be completely honest, like, mindset is discipline. And once I got myself disciplined into not drinking, it just became, that was my mindset. And yeah, I was motivated through 75 hard, but then I disciplined myself in not drinking, and I just stuck with it, which then that became my mindset. I'm not a drinker anymore. I used to be the drinker. And if you go back to watch my first video, you'll hear all about it. But I don't know, it just like made me stronger in a way, and realized that I don't need to depend on something or, have fakeness in my life because of alcohol. And I don't know, it just, so for those of you that want to, start the first step, I mean, I swear by 75 hard, and I will go to my grave with 75 hard, because it was definitely a mental toughness program. Yes, the benefits at the end, you do lose weight, but you also gain a completely different mindset. So I guess just remember the first 3 weeks are going to be the toughest. Find things that, you can drink besides alcohol. Like for me, it was seltzers, or I would make mocktails constantly. And then I got to thinking, maybe it wasn't the alcohol, maybe it was just something besides water that I wanted. And I mean, just the first step, getting the alcohol out of the house. Don't freaking hide it from yourself. Don't give it to a friend to hold on to you. Don't put notes on it to say don't drink. Just dump it down the freaking drain. That's what you need to do. Like, what are you holding on to? Because I held on to an IPA in the very beginning, because I was like, oh my gosh, like if I decide to drink, I'm holding on to this. And so many of you are just like, dump it down the drain, dump it down the drain. Well, I did dump it down the drain, and it was another relief. Like, I held on to this favorite alcohol of mine, and I dumped it down the drain, which then just was another, real thing of get rid of it. You don't want it in the house. If you have an actual addiction to alcohol, you do not need alcohol in the house. And especially until you've conquered getting through the first several months of it, in my opinion. The triggers in the beginning, I avoided all big events. I didn't want to put myself in situations that I thought that I would be super irritated or, cause issues because I was getting pissy with people it was just, I avoided weddings. I avoided like big concerts, big get-togethers, because I just did not want to be triggered. But once I was ready, I never avoided things again. There are certain things that I still, I don't know, kind of avoid, but nothing. I haven't been to a wedding yet, and so I guess that would be my next thing that I have to conquer. And I haven't been on a big family vacation, like little things here and there. I went to Oregon and I didn't go back to see my family until I was personally ready to be around people, because it wasn't me being tempted to drink. It was just me dealing with people again, like being sober for the first time. So I don't know, avoiding triggers at all costs in the very beginning is very, very crucial. Dumping the alcohol down the freaking drain, get it out of your house. What are you planning on doing? Drinking it in like 3 months? Because once you drink it again, you're going to go right back down the same cycle. Do not get in the mindset of, well, I was drinking this alcohol, but now that I'm not drinking, it's been a few weeks, but I think I'm just going to drink this kind of alcohol because that wasn't my poison. It's all poison. It's going to lead you right back down the same cycle, and you're going to be right back where you came from. I have supporters that constantly are being like, oh my gosh, Megan, I slipped up. I took a drink and it led me right back down. There are dozens of people that it happens to. Until you can shift your mindset to never drinking again, I would not touch it. And that's how you can avoid all the triggers and take that first step. Just avoid it at all costs. All right, another one for Mike. He's also been with me for a very long time. Maintaining sobriety is an interest to me. I know I won't drink ever again. I just wonder if the temptation will ever wane. Plus, I'm so sick of the dreams where I find myself drinking at a bar. And lastly, I want to compliment you, Megan, on your very beautiful picture. Thank you. So the dreams are a thing. I have so many dreams that I'm like disappointing people because I started drinking again, and it just makes me feel so awful. And then I wake up and I'm like, God, that was a horrible dream. That was a horrible feeling. And it just makes me even like more sickened about drinking. And I don't know. Your whole entire life changes once you give up alcohol. Yeah, we may not want to drink ever again, but yeah, it is a completely different thing. Social circles change, social settings change, but you just learn different ways to get through it. And I think those dreams are just going to constantly, haunt us. It's a good one. Okay. From LDN Box, how many quit attempts did you have before this one? What did you learn along the way during the buildup to this one? And why has this one finally stuck? Okay, so I never told myself that I was going to quit drinking. I didn't realize I had a problem until I realized I had a problem. And that goes back to the very first video. So I never in my life said I was done drinking, I'm quitting drinking. There's been times where I was like, okay, I'm going to take, I'm going to cut back. I'm only going to drink X amount of days, or I'm only going to drink on the weekends, or I'm only going to have one drink instead of 5. And it never stuck. Like I would go weeks without drinking, but I would never be like, I'm done drinking. I think the buildup was in the beginning of July or sometime in June. There was about 8 of us that decided to do 75 hard. And I think doing it as a group was more of a, well, Megan can't get out of this one now. She has to do it. So like I said, that was the buildup. I like started cutting back before I did 75 hard, training myself, I don't need to have a drink every single night. So then through 75 hard, that was when it stuck, is because I didn't want to fail. The whole world was watching me. And out of 8 people, I was not going to be one of the first ones to fail. And especially because I have a training background and I was the one that people looked up to for health and fitness. And I was like, I am not going to fail. So that is when it stuck. And then like once I got past those first 3 weeks of being irritable and annoyed that I had to adjust my lifestyle, it was when it stuck. Okay, so 75 hard is it's a program, so 75 days, and it's a mental toughness program. It requires drinking a gallon of water a day, so 128 ounces. You have to do 2 workouts every single day. One has to be outside, 45 minutes outside, 45 minutes inside or outside. You have to take a progress picture every single day. You have to read 10 physical pages of personal development, which is absolutely amazing. And no alcohol, no cheat meals, no sugar. I mean, you can't just, and it has like a diet of your choice. So water, exercise, reading, photo, and nutrition. You can't, like, if you fail one thing, if you miss 2 ounces of water, you have to start back over. Even if you're on day 74 and you forgot to take your picture or you didn't read your 10 pages, you have to start over. And so I did not want to start over. I was like, I already am going through this and I'm struggling through it. But when I got going through it, it actually wasn't near as bad as I thought. And I got way more creative with food, creating fun treats that were made out of protein. And then I learned that walking was actually super beneficial for me. I don't want to say I was never a believer in walking, but I was always trying to super outrun or outwork out my alcohol. So I was always doing HIIT or super hard workouts. And then through 75 hard, I realized that walking is extraordinarily beneficial. Okay, so another question, Baldy Mountain Grizz 2527. Have you started new habits like more coffee, more caffeine, a special drink you look forward to each day? I know I did. I started drinking a lot of sparkling water, and then I started drinking coffee to fuel my gym workouts because plain water got boring after a while. I will admit it, coffee. Coffee really helped me get through not drinking, but it also got me through losing weight after my first kid too. It was an appetite suppressant for me, and I still use it if I need some type of suppressant of any type of craving. And so coffee, but I drink black coffee, or I don't do sugary drinks or coffee. It's disgusting to me. But seltzer waters definitely are huge in my household. And also I have a drink called Recess. It has L-theanine in it and magnesium. So I'm really big on that. I love stirring it in with my club soda or something. So it's a little fizzy, and I just drink that at night because it calms me and helps me sleep, like we used to use for alcohol, or we used to use alcohol for. But I mean, it's just a natural supplement. So Recess or Calm, it's like a magnesium blend, and seltzers are definitely key at nighttime, and then coffee pretty much all day long, along with my water. All right, so Chandel, do you ever miss having a couple drinks with dinner? I am missing just 1 or 2 after a long day. Honestly, I don't. I have found ways around that, and it just has to be a fun drink in a wine glass. I drink my pre-workout in wine glasses. I take my greens in wine glasses. I put my seltzer waters in wine glasses. I mean, to me, it was just, I like having a fancy glass, and that has definitely helped me. But I don't miss having a drink, especially when we go to Mexican food. I can actually enjoy my food without leaving completely miserable because I drink too many margaritas. Okay, so I have technical issues. The driver is he's yeah. All right. Are your drinking friends from the past negative or supportive of your new lifestyle? I think in the very beginning they didn't know whether to take us serious or not. And so they were supportive, but I don't think they wanted to believe that their drinker friend was going to be sober. And I think that was just an adjustment period for a lot of us. But for the most part, they're definitely supportive. We haven't really lost friends. We just, the dynamics have changed. That's the honest truth. All right, Mark. I tried many, many times, but the time that stuck with me was when I tried to take my life rather than drink anymore. Luckily, I'm still here and still dealing with the devil, but I'm determined. And yes, Mark, you are definitely determined. You have so much support behind you. We've had people reach out to you from our group. And, I love that you're here sharing your story and that we can, keep you motivated. And we all rally together to help each other. All right, Taylor. Hey there, do you have any quit lit that you recommend drinking books? A lot of people have said that, I think it's called The Naked Truth. One of my friends actually let me borrow it, but I suck at reading. I mean, I read during 75 Hard because I had to read, but I will not open up a book unless I'm forced to be honest. But that one, and then just any of the self-help books that I read throughout 75 Hard really just did something to my brain and helped me. So I guess I would start with The Naked Truth because everybody recommends that one, and any type of personal development book or podcast. I listen to Ed Milet and Andy Frisella all the time, and they have definitely helped shape my mindset. All right, Emily. 431 days today, never had an addiction, started by doing a fitness challenge where the group didn't drink for 8 weeks. Just kept going, and here we are, well over a year now. Best decision ever. Yes, it takes a group and it takes accountability because a lot of us can't do it on our own. For me, if I broadcast something to the world, I'm going to do it and I'm not going to fail at it. So having, starting with the 8 people that did 75 Hard, I wasn't going to fail. And now the whole world knows that I'm not drinking. So I definitely cannot fail. I think accountability is huge when it comes to a big change. 18 days sober, your videos have inspired me and I am so thankful. Well, thank you, Henry, and keep up the amazing work. You're right around that 3 weeks. Okay, from Shannon. Replacing previous triggers with new routines. Previous triggers. I guess my overstimulation was probably a massive trigger, like all the yelling and the dogs barking and just complete chaos. I don't know. I still will pour, I still take L-theanine as soon as I'm starting to feel a little anxious, and I will have something in my hand constantly. We went to a hockey game and I was like, I want to leave because they didn't have club soda that I wanted. And I just it was really social anxiety. Oh my gosh, I need something in my hand. And my newest routine is sourdough. So for those of you that know anything about this whole sourdough kick, it's absolutely amazing. I told my therapist about it the other day, and she said, that is absolutely amazing because it helps get your mind off things, and you just escape reality for a while because you have something that's rewarding. And I mean, I felt I felt so much better since I actually started doing sourdough that it's kind of, I mean, I feel like a nerd. I don't know. But I'm making so much bread. I have made English muffins, bagels. I've made several loaves. I've made hamburger buns. I mean, the list goes on. And every day I'm trying something new. I made jalapeno cheddar. I've made honey wheat. It's ridiculous. I'm constantly playing with bread. Is from Mark. Is your spouse still sober and wants the same as you? Okay. He stopped drinking after Memorial Day weekend last year because our daughter made a comment like, "Daddy, that's killing you." And so he has a lot of health issues that he should not be drinking with. And so I think when our daughter said something to him, he realized like, I have to quit drinking. And that was his done day. I don't know. He passed military and all the issues that he came home with, and he just decided to quit drinking as soon as Emma said that to him. And it's not been a problem at all. Actually, when I was still drinking, we had some issues, but you know, typical, like, you're irritating because you're sober. I'm irritating because I'm drunk. I don't like you anymore because I don't know how to be with you when we're both sober. I mean, the list goes on, but like the fighting is definitely not near as bad as it used to be. From James, congratulations on 8 months of sobriety. What is the biggest difference or change that you have noticed in your overall well-being? I can go to pizza now and I can actually not stress about eating pizza because instead of drinking 5 beers, I can actually enjoy my pizza now. And I don't know, it's random. But I guess I just don't stress so much about having to lose weight or be healthy anymore because not drinking it's a lot easier to maintain weight loss, or if you're already at a healthy weight, you can save more money. Going out to eat is a completely different ballgame nowadays. My skin is better, my hair is better. I mean, just so many things like all around. And I'm definitely being a better mom, I think, was the number one thing that has been like my well-being from quitting drinking. All right, from Keith. Would you feel confident keeping alcohol in the house for when friends come around who drink, or do you not keep that type of company? Most of our friends still drink. They aren't belligerent. And I mean, I stopped doing get-togethers at my house last year before we quit drinking because I was just irritated with always having to be the one to supply everything and never getting invited to any. I mean, like, there was a lot of things. And so I just decided I didn't want to host anymore. And I still am pretty adamant about not hosting. So when we go to people's houses, they usually have LaCroix for us or different seltzers for us. And then we all sit around drinking tea now or seltzers instead of like taking shots of tequila all night. We can leave the evening remembering things now. However, I have like a variety of nasty White Claws and Trulies still in my outside fridge because, I mean, I'm not going to say no to having a couple drinks around me at my house, but I think it's disrespectful if people come over with hard alcohol and expect to just get shit-faced in my house. Like, no, that is where I draw the line, and that's my boundary. Liz, love following your journey. Here for health and fitness inspiration. I have had family members struggle with addiction. So happy to see your success. Yes, I would love for you to share your story one day with us also. From Scott. I don't think you can help me explain why it took me way too long to find my rear end without a map. In other words, for me to wake the heck up. I think a lot of us can say the same thing. Why did it take us 40 years, 20 years? There's people that drank, I think I've seen 48 years on my channel, and they're in their 60s and they finally quit drinking. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that is good for you for, making the decision to quit drinking and live, healthier life. Any sugar craving advice, especially after a meal? Certainly healthy go-tos you have. Um, Sugar cravings, I notice that if I don't get enough protein in, my sugar cravings start. I will be honest, I haven't had a big sweet tooth since I was pregnant with my son, my second, because I don't know, my daughter I ate way too many sweets with. And so when I was pregnant with Colton, I kind of just like that aversion to sweets kind of just like stayed away. So kind of thankful for that. But I do notice that I eat more crappy food if I don't get enough protein. So I noticed the last couple of weeks that my diet has been complete crap. And so I actually started adding more protein in and feel completely better. So I guess like a tip would be trying to find healthy protein, like eat something easy. I'm all about easy and simple. Like roll up some oats with some peanut butter and protein powder and I don't know, string cheese and apples, peanut butter and apples. I guess Greek yogurt and PB2 I've seen and I want to try. Just the super easy, keep it simple. Do not overcomplicate it because then I feel like that's when people fail. So I don't know, just more protein for those sugar cravings. My internet alcohol coach. Thanks for all the support through your videos. God put you on this journey for a reason. You are really making a difference. I thought about that. It's like all the years that I drank. I mean, I started drinking when I was like right after I turned 15, 14 or 15. And all the things that I've done and situations I put myself in, I am very lucky that a majority of the time I did not get hurt or anything worse happen, but definitely I'm glad that I can share my story with you guys and help so many others. From Taylor again, can you actually talk about your physical body changing, whether it's from 75 hard and or not drinking? So when I was drinking, I was constantly doing HIIT, like killing myself every workout, like drenched in sweat, but I wouldn't really get like results. I just got bulky. I never really felt lean with my muscle, but I mean, I was at a low percent. I think I was always between 19 and 18% body fat when I was drinking, and now I'm like in 17 something percent. But I think since quitting drinking, it's easier to maintain like a leaner muscle and walking and just doing compound exercises. I swear by heavier weights. I don't care. Like so many people are like, I'm going to get bulky. I'm going to get bulky. You're not going to get bulky unless you try to get bulky. I mean, you have to do the work to lose the weight and or get bulky. So my physical changes is, I don't know, I just got like leaner and I don't feel so, I guess, manly muscular. Like people would always come up to me and be like, wow, I love your arms. I love your arms. I was the trainer in the gym that they wanted me to train them because I had the arms. But then my arms definitely are not as bulky as they used to be because I don't have all that extra like calories feeding, I don't know, whatever it was doing to make me bulk up. And like other physical things is my face is clear. I had perioral dermatitis. I mean, it's definitely 95% better. That I think is something that I'll always struggle with. And my acne, definitely, I had horrible acne. My face was way puffier. My midsection was puffier. People always were like, "You look so good. You look so good," and I never felt good. And then I look back at pictures, and I'm like, nobody told me I was so fluffy. And they're like, I never saw you like that. But just de-bloating completely was one of the big physical features also. All right, so from Steve. Hi, Megan. Getting situated in my own place again. And the biggest fear is the first few weeks of sobriety. How long or am I going to keep drinking or the I don't need treatment or I don't need help scenarios, have a great too. So Steve has been sober for many years, decades actually. And so these are some of the questions, that he probably asked himself, or, he really is involved with helping people in my community also. And I really appreciate it because he 30 years sober and he has quite the journey also. So that was all the questions, I guess. So I would love to know again, like where you are at in your journey. So I see somebody says 3 months sober, and we plan on doing this weekly on Thursdays. We're gonna do it for a while and see how the timing goes. We would love to see you guys here on Thursday nights. I know that we are all from different parts of the world. I mean, we got Europe, we got New Zealand, we got Canada. I mean, we got people from all over the place, and I absolutely, completely appreciate you guys. And I would not be here without you guys. You guys are absolutely amazing to me, and I appreciate you being here so much. So stay tuned. Oh, my best friend drinks a lot. Do interventions work? Not sure what to do, but it's killing him. Any advice? We have people that drink a lot too, and I honestly don't think an intervention would help them unless they're willing to be helped. I think just like if you're obese or you overweight in any way, if you don't want to lose the weight, you're not going to lose the weight. Just like if you're an alcoholic, you're not going to quit drinking just because somebody wants you to quit drinking. So, I mean, you're going to be fat and you're going to be an alcoholic until you decide that you want to change your life. I mean, I guess the TV might show you that interventions work, but sometimes they show you that they don't work. 2 years and 40 days. Found your channel about a month after I quit. It's been a big help. A lot of the journey has been similar. Through this journey, I definitely noticed a lot of us have a very similar story and background, and it's quite sad that society has instilled in our brains that it's okay to just live our life with drinking, and nobody tells you how bad it is for you. Quick question is, you're baking gluten-free. I don't know the answer to that. I don't have gluten-free bread or flour, but I just used regular unbleached flour, water, and salt. So, I mean, I don't know if I don't know if it's gluten-free or not. But I think sourdough is one of the healthier breads to eat. Thanks, Megan. Look forward to tomorrow morning. Inspirational saying, always a great way to start the day. I love doing those posts for you guys, and I love the engagement on them. Even though I may not comment back quickly or all the time, I definitely read through all the comments because I love being able to inspire you guys. So thank you guys for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys next time.